Okay, so what I'm making today is just a little, well, I usually call them travel journals, but this is one I'm going to put in my purse. I've got a large, like, sack purse, kind of like a messenger bag that I keep my stuff in when I travel, because it keeps, I've got a basic art supply that I take, bag that I take with me. And this is to put in it for notes. And the reason why I'm doing it this way, instead of just a plain notebook, is because I have, I know a lot of people have the same thing about a blank sheet of paper. You're afraid to get started on it because you're afraid to ruin it. And this is just for me to do quick drawings, quick sketches, and write notes on. But it's not a plain white piece of paper to start. And if I feel like doodling, I'll doodle or whatever, but I make these things for me to take with me when I go places. Now, I'm going to show you after I show you how to put it together. I know this sounds backwards, but I'll show you how to put it together, and then the rest of the video I'll show you how I did the printing. Because I did it a couple different ways, and this won't be that long a video, but it'll show you how. Now I use this nice paper that I have. I found it at Goodwill. It's like a linen paper, and it's actually copy paper, but it's really fine copy paper. And sometimes you can find something like that at the thrift stores. An entire package of 500, and it was only a couple bucks. Brand new, that was like a $30 packet of paper, which I really wouldn't have spent that much on. But what I did was, I printed all, it's kind of a yellowish, beige look, and I printed, I think I've got 10. Folded them in half, and stacked them together in the way I wanted them to go. I was going to put a cardboard cover on it, but with the paint, this comes out stiff enough, so it's good for just throwing in your purse. It's not going to get messed up. Now the edges, because you're stacking them together, even though they're the same size paper and folded in half, each one pushes the other one out, so the edges are going to be ragged. Now you can cut those off. Sometimes when I'm done binding it, I'll cut it off, but I'm not going to do that with this one. I kind of like that look. So how I decide where to punch the holes to bind it. I take the same size paper, I fold it in half, I fold it in half again, and use my bone folder to press it down tight so I've got that little point right there. So now I know when I lay this in the middle that that's exactly the middle. Then I'd have to decide how far down I want to go. And I'm just going to do a guesstimate of like right about there. And I fold it down. And I do the same thing, make that point. And I take the other end and fold it together. Fold it down, take my bone folder. So now where it's folded in those places, right there, right, you can put a dot if you need to. I don't need to. Alright, so I'm going to make sure my pages are lined up. Now this kit, this is a bookbinding kit. I got this on Amazon. You don't need the whole kit, but I like it. And it's got the needles and the ruler, and it's got these clips in it to keep it clipped down. So basically I'm going to make sure they're lined up nicely. Put this sheet in the middle. Sure there's nothing in there that shouldn't be. And I just took the one I thought was the prettiest and put that for the outside one. Now I'm making sure I got it lined up and pushed down. You want it down tight. Lined up end to end. Okay, and I'm going to put a clip on this end. I'm going to put it pretty close to the here, not too close though. I'm going to do the same thing, make sure I keep it pushed down and even. And I'm going to put a clip up here too. Now, like I said, this is just for making notes and scribbling, so perfection not necessary. It's the best thing to do if you're going to try and learn to make these. Make a couple scribble pads for yourself. That way you're not going to be that intimidated by the whole process. Now all I've got to do is lay this in here. Now I can clip this down if I want. I have other clips. Up. So we've got it perfectly lined up in the middle there. Now see, I put that clip a little too close. It's interfering with what I'm trying to do. So I'm just going to hold it down and slide it out some. I actually can clip this too. Okay, so there's where I want the holes. Now looking through my kit, I've got to find my awl, which is over on the table. I'll be right back. Okay, so I decided I'm actually not going to use the awl because most people don't have one. I am just going to use a piece of cardboard or actually a magazine that works really well. And that's only to protect your table underneath. And all you need really is a push pin. Now I'm going right where those cross sections are, just making a little mark so I know what I'm going to be aiming for. Take that push pin. Hold on. Okay, I grabbed another push pin in case this one breaks because it's a plastic one. But I'm going to push it back into that little hole that I made. And hammer it down through until I get all the way through. Now these sheets are covered in paint, but they're still not that thick. I'd suggest a rubber mallet, but this is the one I had handy, so I'm just opening it up as I do it. Yeah. And I'm going to make sure I got it all the way through. Yep. I'm going to pick it up and push it through even further. And you can come back the other way if you want. There we go. What I'm trying to do is get all the way through to that magazine. Now I'm going to do the same thing on the other two. Putting it right at that point where the holes meet. Put it all the way through. Yes, I did. And the same thing on this point. So now I got my 3 points. And I'm all the way through into the magazine. Now you can use a piece of cardboard, but I like the magazines because they're thicker. Push it through a little further. It's through. I just want to make sure. Give it a little wiggle. Give it a little wiggle. And that's how you do it. I have an awl, but it dawned on me that everybody doesn't have an awl, so I went and got a push pin. You can do this with a push pin. You need some kind of needle and some thread. Well, I did actually have my awl here, but... Alright, now I'm going to use this waxed thread, but you actually can use anything, dental floss or... I usually do, I don't know what the standard is, but I usually do 3. And a little bit more times what I've, the length of the book. Now the way I usually do it is backwards, so I'm going to do it the right way to show you the right way. Because I like the tassel to be on the outside, but when most people do it, the string is on the inside. Now I put it through the needle, and these needles have huge, I do suggest getting this kind of needle. And what I do is I like clip the end of it so that because I don't want to pull it through. You just need to leave a little tail. So now you go through the middle one. And it's going to be rough because my awl is a lot bigger, so I just have to get the needle through. Pull it all the way. And see, that's going to leave you a little tail by leaving it hooked to the bottom there. Probably should have used a different color thread, huh? Let's see how it's gone through the middle. Now you go down back through the bottom. A little harder. So the hole's wider on one side than the other. So we're going to pull it through the bottom. Now this needle is bigger than the hole that I did, so it's opening up the hole a little as it goes in, but it's not going to do any damage. Now you're going to give it a little tug. You want it taut, but you don't want to pull it so hard you're pulling away your... Now you're going to go up through the top to the outside again. Now once again you're going to pull it taut. Now I'll show you, I'm doing this with this thing still in. I cut that out when I'm done. Okay. Now you're going to go through the middle, back through that middle hole. That's going to be the hardest thing of all, getting it back through again. So you might have to wiggle the needle a little bit, which is what I usually do. There we go. Now, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tear this out, my little template. So that I can get it tight enough. There. That was just a template for the hole, but I leave it in there so I make sure I got everything right. Alright, now you're going to pull it taut. Make sure it's taut on the back too, nice and tight. Pull it till it's, you don't want to pull it so much that you break the paper, but just so that it's a nice tightness. And then you got one on either side. and that middle thing's in the middle. So then you just want to tie it off into a knot. And like I said, if you want to, you can trim those edges, but I'm not going to. Now see, usually the way I do it is the opposite, because I usually have this on the outside and I put a tassel on it, but I realize this one's going to be in my purse, so I don't want a tassel on it. Now I'm going to take and cut this. Probably going to do one more tie. This wax thread though, there's one thing about it, it just stays where you tie it. So nice. There, I did a double knot and just cut it like that, and you've got your little booklet finished. And I'll show you in the next part of the video what I did to, because you want, if you're doing one of these that you're going to, what I'm going to do is write and draw over it, you want to print your stuff pretty lightly, and I'll show you what I did in the next few segments. So thank you very much. Hold on and I'll show you what I do for the rest of it. If you like the video, please like it and subscribe, but there's more to come. Thank you very much, and I'll see you in a sec. Good morning. What I'm doing today in the studio is I'm taking my collages. Let me get them and show you, at least one of them. These are my really old magazine collages from this journal book. Well, actually it's a watercolor book, and I've got some old ones that I've done that were kind of blah and didn't really like them, but I thought I'd like to go revisit them. And I want, I'm doing a new journal that I'm just going to write in and maybe draw a little bit, but I want some real pale backgrounds, and I thought I took my old collage, this one I pieced together with another magazine, and then I did a copy of that, and there it is again. And I actually like the way it looks much better as a black and white than it did in the original collage. It's much more impactful in black and white. And here's another one that I did. I'm just doing copies of them, and I'm going to try and do really pale backgrounds that I will be able to draw and color over in my journal. Here's another one I did. And it's just an experiment. Hopefully I can get at least 3 or 4 that come out, well, not this one, that come out light enough so that I can draw over them, yet dark enough so they're going to show the picture. I'm trying to zero in on this. So let's try, I always have a practice one before I do it, so let's use that bird one first. I'm using Golden Open, which is not my favorite thing to use, but the reason why I'm using the Golden Open black is it doesn't do as well as some of the other ones that I use. And I'm looking for really light copies this time, nothing really dark. Let me get a piece of paper to rub this off on over here. Like I said, I want pale copies that you can see the image slightly through it, but I can draw right over it. It's not going to interfere with that. So we'll see what we can do. Maybe we'll start with the bird. See if I'm getting what I want. And I'm probably going to do it on that yellow paper that I got at the thrift store a long time ago. It's quality paper. It's I think a linen paper. That's a nice light image. That looks about right. Alright, let's see how it looks on the yellow paper. Well, on the back of this sheet. And I'm not going to pull them up with white or anything. I'm just pulling them right off the plate because I want to be able to go in with watercolor or something later if I decide to. Okay, that's exactly what I want. See how you have the light image? You can see what it is. I don't know if you can in this camera, but you can see what it is. You can see the birds. You can see the outline. This, you can even read the writing. So that's about what I want. Now, if you picture, I'm going to have these folded as pages. So it's not going to be going in the right direction, but as you can see, you can write over that. It's exactly what I'm looking for. Like I said, I actually like the Amsterdam better for doing these because you get a better, for me, I get a better print. But I'm not looking for a better, crisper print. Well, I'm looking for a crisp print, but I'm looking for a print that I can see through and write over. I should tape things down today. I haven't cleaned the studio today. My intention was to come out here and clean, and then I thought about, oh, I need to make some more pages for that journal, and I wanted to make the pages that I could actually write over, so that's why I'm doing this. Well, let's try this one. That one might be even a little too light, but it will leave me something to write over. Like I said, I'm going to come back with watercolor on these probably after I use pen to write on them or draw on them. No, it shows up just like I wanted. The bottom of it's not showing up well, but the top of it, you see that? You can read it says turning point. You can see the clock face. You can see her. Down here, the eyes didn't show up very well, but you can see them. That's what I'm looking for. So that's 2 pages. Well, 1 page actually. Let's clean it off and do it again. Like I said, I'm trying for nice and light and something that I can see through. So we'll see how many I can get done. And I will do a video when I put this together. I've got like, I don't know, it's not going to have a lot of pages. But if you think about it like that one I just did, I have to do the back of that one now. That's way too much paint. Way too much paint. Oh, I hate this squeaky brayer. I don't know why I don't just get rid of it. Yeah, that should do. Let's try one of these other ones. Let's try this one. See, I'm going to make 2 of these. I might put part of this one on the cover if it comes out decently. But yeah, I like using Amsterdam paints better for this. But this is a good way to reuse your collage without ruining your collage. I like to reuse things that I've done, revisit topics and stuff. Well, that one's not bad either. That's just about what I'm looking for. You can see the skull, see the eyes, but it's really in the background, and if you write over it or draw over it, it's not going to interfere with the foreground. I like that. So there's 2 good ones. I think I need 4 or 5 for this. Let's try this one. I'm not sure if this one's going to come out. It's very dark in places, but we'll try it. And I clean off my plate in between. It really, for this kind, it doesn't matter because I'm not worried if other things show up on it. It'll just give it more interest. Let's try just 1 flop this time. That one's very, very dark to begin with. Pull some off the bottom here because that's very dark on the bottom. Alright, let's try this one. And I need 1 more. Now see on the back, I'm going to just gel print over the back of the pages. Well, that one's interesting. I don't think the dark parts are going to come out as good as I would have hoped. Let's see what we've got here. It's a little bit stronger than what I wanted, but only in places. See how that's come out? I mean, here, where it was really dark, like I said, it did not come out that well. You can see her eye, but all the scribbling and detail you can see. That one's good. 3, I need 1 more. And I honestly don't think this one's going to cut it, but we'll try it. I can just double up and use one of the other ones. I'm not going to bother cleaning it too much. I don't think that one's going to come out hardly at all. Maybe her face will. And hopefully maybe that texture will come out. But that's what I'm doing today. Doing 4 to 5 journal pages. And then later I'll come back and print the backs. Put something on the back of them that's light. Maybe use that pastel pastel paints that I bought a while back to do the backs. I just don't want them to be real strong because this is a journal I'm going to want to write over things. Sometimes I'll do like, I have a whole journal full of just this where my writing is taking it out of a magazine instead of handwriting. But this one I want to do some handwriting and I want to do some drawing in it. So I need some pale backgrounds. And I'm going to use this paper. This paper is, oh, it's incredible. It's like an old linen. And I got a whole 500 sheets of it for like, I don't know if it was $1 or $2, but it wasn't any more than $1.99. But this is going to give me nice light prints. Like I said, if I wanted dark prints, I would be using the, I like the Amsterdam better for that. This is actually a little darker than I wanted, but it's not bad at all. So you can see the rose shows up at the top. The butterfly shows up nicely, and her face shows up. Lost some of the texture, but there's still some of the texture at the top there. which will give it interest. So I need to do one more, and then I'm done. I think I'm going to try this one again. See if I can get a better image of that. And then I'm done for the day. And like I said, I will, when I put the journal together, I will do a video putting it together and sewing it. And the cover, I don't know what I'm going to do for the cover. I may put it in an old children's book and use a children's book cover and cover that as gel prints. Alright, let's try this one. Too much paint, so it's probably not going to be very good. But I don't feel like taking any more off. Can you hear it's got a texture to it, almost like cloth. I wish I could show it to you, but it's very hard. I'll see if I can get a close-up picture of the texture with my phone and put it towards the back. Oh my god, this paper is so lovely. I don't even know if they sell it anymore. Oh, this one's not bad. This is kind of good. You can read it. You can see the clock. You can see everything. She doesn't show up very well, but she didn't on any of them. So that is today. Let me show you all the prints. I'm going to have to do it this way to come down. Zoom down a little. There's the one we just did. There is this one. With her face and the butterfly. It's just going to be enough background so it's going to be interesting. And this one, I got a little bit too much detail right here, but it's okay. Once it's folded in half, and I have to print the other side before I can do that though. And this one, I might try this one again a little bit later. It didn't come out very well, but you can see the skull. You can see her peeking in the background. It's kind of what I'm looking for. It's peeking in the background. And then this one came out okay. It gives me enough information that I can go over it, and it makes a very interesting background to write your journal, your thoughts over. So that's my project for today. Thank you very much for viewing my video. Please put a like if you like it. Please subscribe if you want to see more. And you have a lovely, lovely day.